Are your hip pads always shift or bulge by one side? Do you wonder or what secrets behind the seamless hip and butt tight techniques? If you are having problem or your crotch tight or trouser, this class is for you. Are your customer always complain that their hip tights are obvious to people while wearing it? This class is for you. Are your hip tights shrink after washing it? This class is for you. In this video, I will show you how to make hip tights that will pack your body so well and blend into your body shape. The method I will show you in this class will give you a seamless vibe that nobody will never know that you wear hip enhancer. I will show you correct way on how to achieve figure 8 shape for yourself and your customer. This tight will give you natural feel and seamless vibe that you desire, that nobody will ever know that you wear hip tights underneath your dress. See how flawless it is looking under my bodycon skirt. Can you see? Have you seen any traces of hip tights? Nobody will ever know that there is hip tights underneath. So now I've already marked my starting line, in which I've marked 2 inches for the starting line and the 2 inches at the side. And from here to this place is my tight length. So for the measurement I want to work with, my model hip is hip 33, right? And I want to add, she want to add 2 inches extra to it so that the total hip will be 35. So now to draft my tight, I will use 35 inches as my hip measurement. So my cross extension, for the cross extension, I will use the original hip measurement to get my cross extension, which is 33 inches. And the waist I'm working with is waist 26. So now let's get started. So now to get my cross, I will divide 35 divided by 4. That is 8.75. I will mark 8.75 at my waistline. So after I've marking it, after I've marked 8.75 for my hip divided by 4, the next is my cross measurement. So to get your cross measurement, you will sit on a flat surface or on a chair. You will mark from your waist to the surface of your chair. So whatever you get there is your cross measurement. So after that, I've got my cross measurement and I will mark it down. So my cross is 10 inches. Now I will mark 10 inches from here. So I will also mark it to get a straight line. I will also mark 10 inches for the cross depth. So now I will mark it with my ruler. So now I will bring the 8.75 I have for my waist. I will also mark it on my cross line. 8.75, I will also mark it on my cross line. So now I will now connect the line together to form a box. So this is my box. What I will do now here is that I will mark my front extension here. So to get my extension, I will divide my hip. The original hip is 33. I divide hip 33 by 20. So whatever I get there is my front extension. What I get here is, after I divided hip 33 by 20, I get 1.65. So now I will mark it down. Starting from the line that I marked earlier, 1.65, I will mark it. So now To get my curve, I will mark out my hip depth. So the hip depth I'm working with is 8.5. I'll mark it down starting from the waistline. 8.5. I will also mark it here as well. 8.5, and I will connect it with ruler. So now after I've marked it, so this is my hip line, this is my cross line. So now from my hip line, I will mark 0.25 out. 0.25, I will mark it out in front of my hip line. So now I will use my curve ruler to join the line together to blend. So I will connect the 1.65 to the 0.25. So this is my front extension. So after that, what I will do now is that the, for the waistline, I will come down by half inches. From this line, I will come down by half inches for the front, so that the tight will sit properly on our tummy. So after that, and I will now mark my waist measurement. The waist I'm working with is 26 inches. 26 divided by 4 is 6.5. So I will mark 6.5 starting from this line. I will mark 6.5 out like this. So now after that I've marked 6.5 out, I will now connect it to the hip line with my ruler. I will mark it like so. So this is my waistline and this is the hip line. What I will do now is that from my on my cross line like this, I will measure what I have there, and I will divide this into two. To get a straight line, I will measure what I have here. I will divide it into two. I will mark it like so. So what I will do now is that I will connect it with my ruler. I will mark a straight line. So this is it. So to get my tie, I will come down from my cross line by 3 inches. So I've already come down from the cross, but the line are not visible yet. So and my tie range is 18 inches. I will divide it into two. That's 9 inches. I will also divide that 9 inches into two. That's 4.5, 4.5. I will also mark the remaining one here. So, and on my tight hem, the measurement I'm working with is 14 inches. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So after that, I will now distribute that 7 inches on this from this middle line. That's 3.5. I will mark it out like so. So for the material I want to use is stretchy enough. So that is why, if you know that the material you are going to use is not stretchy, you can add is allowance to it. But for this one, is stretchy at the both sides, the vertical line and the horizontal line, the material is stretchy. So you don't need extra allowance to it. Instead, you will deduct from it so that it will pack your body tightly. So now I will connect the line from the hem of the tight to the tie line together like so. So for the front, yeah, I will also connect the hem to the tie line. So after that, I will use my curve to blend the tie line to the cross line like this. So I will also connect the cross extension to the tie line like so. So this is my front pattern for the tight. So what I will do next is that I will use another marker pen to draft out the back pattern. So now before I will continue with the back pattern, I forget to mark out the tie line. So now from the cross extension you will come down by 2.5 or 3 inches depending how you want. So now I will connect the line to make it visible like so. So this is my tie line. So now we also label out the waistline. So here is my waistline, hip, crush and my tie. This is the tight hem. So now I will continue with the back pattern. So for the back pattern, starting from this line, I will come in from the waistline. I will come in by 1.5. I will come in by 1.5. And on the crush line, I will come in by 1 inches. I will also mark 1 inches in like this. Starting from that line, I will come in by 1 inches. So now I will now connect the both line together. I will connect the 1 inches to that 1.5. I will connect it like so. So now after I've connecting it on the hip line, this line, I will also come out again by 0.25. I will mark 0.25 out like so. So for my cross extension for the back, to get the back extension, I will divide the hip 33 divided by 10, that's 3.3. Remember that hip 33 is the original hip measurement, not the part measurement. Hip 33 divided by 10 is 3.5. I will mark 3.5 starting from the green line. I mark it out like this, 3.5, that is my back extension. I will now connect the 3.3 to the 2.5 up mark. So now I will now connect the line together with my curve ruler. Then I will now blend it into the line, into that straight line like so. So that is my back extension. So after that, starting from my waistline, I will come up by 1 inches. This 1 inches is not constant. It depending how your butt is. You can mark 1.5 2 inches depending how you have a big butt. So now starting from that, now I will mark my waistline 6.5. So after that, on my hip line, I will come out by 1 inches, and also on my cross line, I will come out by 1 inches. So I will now connect my waist measurement to my hip line. I will connect the waistline to the hip line with my cuff ruler like so. Now I will now blend hip line to the cross line. So after that I've connect the line together, on my tight hem I will come out by half inches. I'll mark half inches out like so. So after that I will now connect the hem line to the cross line with my cuff ruler. So this is it. So now I will mark half inches out like so, and then I will now connect it to the back cross extension. So this is my back pattern. So remember that I've come down by half inches earlier for the front pattern. So now I will now connect that half inches to the waistline for the front pattern. So don't forget to come down by half inches. So this is my back waistline. I will make the knife visible. This green marker is not visible enough. So that's it. The green marker is my back pattern, while the blue marker is the front pattern. Now I will now put another pattern paper underneath the pattern. Then after that I will use my tracing wheel to transfer the green marker, which is the back pattern, to the new fresh pattern paper. Now I will now trace it out like so. Guys, if you have watched this video to this level, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So this is it after I've transferring it out. What I will do now is that I will bring out that pattern, and I will use the marker to highlight it out. So this is it. This is the back pattern. Now I will cut it out. So this is it after I've cutting it out. What I will do now is that I will also cut the front pattern out the same way I cut out the back pattern. So this is the front pattern and the back pattern. So the next thing I will do now is that I will carve out the pattern that I will use for the patch. So I will start from the front pattern. I will mark half of my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5. I will mark 3.5 here. Then after I've marking it out, I will now connect it to the line that I marked out earlier. I will now blend it to this line like so. So now I will use marker to highlight it out. So after that, what I will do next is that I will come down from my waist, from my side waist. I will come down by half inches. I will come down by half inches from my side waist. So now I will mark 13 inches from my waistline. I will mark 13 inches, which is my under butt measurement, and I will mark it out with the straight ruler like so. So now I will now curve it out like so. But before then, on this line, on the straight line that I mark out finger, I will curve my pad out by half inches on that line. I will let it come out by half inches down to the 13 inches for my butt line. So I will now curve it like so. So now I will blend it to the 13 inches under butt like so. So this is it. This is the rough sketch. I will also use the marker to highlight it later. So this is the back pattern. So from the center line here, I will mark 1 inches, and on the side waist, I will come down by half inches. So now I will now mark that 1 inches into a straight line like so. After that, I will mark my 13 inches under butt, starting from my side waist like so. Now I will mark that line out like this. So starting from the half inches from my side waist, I will mark, I will sketch out the butt shape like so. So I will be sketching it out like this. So when I reach the cross line for the back, I will curve in my hand towards the 13 inches under butt line like so, to give it slightly X. Then I will blend it to the under butt like so. So now I will now sketch it out so that it will be feasible. So this is it. Now I will label it up, and this is down part. I will also label the front pattern like so. This up and this is down. So the next thing is that I will transfer the marking that I've have earlier. I will transfer it on another fresh paper, but before then I will use marker to highlight the marking out. I will also repeat the same on the back pattern. So this is it after I've shaded it out. So the next thing I will do is that I will pin down the pattern, the front pattern on another paper. Then I will use the tracing wheel to transfer it on the other paper. I will now use the marker to shape out the side like so. Now I will now remove the pin. I will label this as up and this is the down part. So I will now reshape it out. So this is the side. Now I will cut it out. Now I will cut out the remaining one of the camera. So this is the back pattern. I will use the tracing wheel to transfer it to the pattern paper underneath it like so. Now I will use the pattern to cut out the shape for the one that is under the pattern. Then I will now remove the pin. After I've removed the pin, I will label this as upper part and this is the down part. Then after that I will cut it out. So this is what I got after I've gotten it out, and now this is how the pad will sit on the tight. This is how it will sit. So what I will do next is that I will now use this pattern for the pad to cut out the foam and the fiber that I will use to pad this tight. So I've labeled that aside. Now I will use the pattern for the tie to cut out the tight. So this is the fiber that I will use for it. This is half inches. It is half inches in thickness. Now I will fold it into two because I will fold two pieces for the front pattern and two pieces for the back. So now I will use pin to pin it down. I will use pin to pin the pattern paper with the fiber. So I will also repeat the same on the back pattern like so. I will pin the pattern in such a way that it will flat on the fiber. So now I will now cut it out. So after I've cutting it out, this is what I got. This is it. After I've removing the pen, I will label this as up. I will label the up, I will label the down, so that I will not mix it up while joining it with the back. So this is up. I will also repeat the same, and this is the down part, and this is for the front side. Up, down. I will also repeat this on the other side. Repeat the same on the back pattern. So this is it. After I've labeling it the same way I've labeled the front part. So now I will mark this as hip side. I will also repeat the same on this ones, hip side. So that's the hip side. So now we now mark 1 inch round the my fiber. Now I will now pull it out. So now I will keep it this one side. So this is the foam that I will use for the lining side, and the foam is not up to 1/4 inches. It's not up to 1/4 inches. I will use this for the lining side, and the the wideness will not be up to the fiber size. I will cut it, I will reduce it. So this is it. For the pattern side, I've reduced 1 inches out from it, and this is the back pattern. I will also reduce 1 inches. Now I will also label the up and the down, so that I will not mix it up, because the person that that own this tight, he want it to look natural. He don't want the hip to be obvious. So this is me pulling out the fiber with the 1 inches I mark out from this side. I will pull it and reduce it, so that it will not be too thick. So this is it after I've pulling it out. So this is it. I will pull it lightly, so that it will not be thick at the side. So I will also repeat the same for the other fiber. So this is the back side. I've also pull it out. See how it's light. So this is the front side for the part, and for the foam I will use the scissors to trim out the side. I will use the scissors to trim it, and it will be low that nobody will detect that there is something underneath. After I've done it, I will show you what I have. So this is it after I've used the scissors to reduce it. So this after I've trimmed it out. This is the back and here is the front. And for the material that I will use for this kite, I will use lycra material, the one that is stretchy. So now we have come to the end of the cutting tutorial. Thanks for watching.